Good afternoon, guys. Bill Jebby here, Kimberly Vassal's roving beer snob. It is Friday afternoon again, and the sun is finally out. Spring is finally sprung, and just for that reason, I have a springtime, summertime beer for us right here. This is actually a saison out of St. Somewhere Brewing Company, and it's a collaboration with Intangible Ales out of PA. So St. Somewhere's out of Florida, Intangible's out of PA. You're able to get this in Pennsylvania. We're going to get into a glass and let you know how it tastes. So I have the beer poured now. Didn't really go into much detail here. Again, St. Somewhere's out of Florida. Intangible Ales collaboration. They're out of Pennsylvania. This is the Soleil Reverie saison with fruit and spices added. Again, saison is a French-Belgian style farmhouse beer, usually made in the winter months to be consumed in the spring and summer months, usually lower in alcohol. American-style saisons tend to be a little bit higher. I believe this is actually low, like other ones. It's a 5% saison. It's perfect for a nice warm day. It's the first time we've hit 70 in months here. Basically, this one, the fruit they added is kumquats. So kumquats are almost, they look like little tangelos, little oranges. They're a tree fruit like that. And might be something that's native to Florida, possibly why they used it. Not sure on the spice blend because they're pretty vague on that, but appearance-wise, it looks like a traditional saison. They're usually hazy. They're not really clarified or anything like that. They've got live yeast, that farmhouse yeast structure. So they usually produce a hazy color. It's a yellowy orange, pretty vibrant. When I initially poured it, because they're bottle conditioned with the live yeast, it was very billowy when it first came out, and it's kind of faded down, but you still have a color, a bright white there, still active. I can see carbonation going on in there. So smell wise, it smells like a saison. Usually you get kind of like a barnyardy little funk to it, a little bit of wet hay, in a good way. I know that doesn't sound too great, but you also get that fruit that they added in there. So that citrus fruit, that lemon rind, that orange rind is in there. The spices, a lot of saisons, because of the yeast use, kick off a spice blend, almost like a peppery smell. This has a little bit of that peppery, but most of the citrus is taking over it. So really smells pleasant. Let's get it tasted here. Yeah, it's really nice. It's again, saisons are usually dry. The yeast helps eat a lot of the residual sugars out of there and leaves a really dry mouthfeel, hence why it's really good for spring and summer. That it's crisp, it's refreshing, leaves you wanting to take another sip. Getting that citrus fruit in here, it's really nice. It's really like almost a lemony orange character. I wouldn't say like a lemonade with alcohol, but the alcohol is not evident at all. You get some of that wet hay, that dry hay, kind of grassiness to it, but it's really effervescent. I mean, that's what a lot of these saisons kind of come out like. If you got your person that doesn't like a beer and you want to try to get them to gravitate towards a beer style that might be more vinous or more wine-like, saison's a perfect one. It's almost like a champagne because of how effervescent it is, and this is no exception. It's really, really nice stuff. This is actually the first beer I've ever had from St. Somewhere. They make a line of saisons. It's really what this gentleman, his name isn't on the bottle, but the head brewer down there is really known as one of the American saison kings. Other breweries, Prairie notably, really tries to replicate what he does with his saisons in their beers that they're doing, making them as dry as possible. Really the staple for the saison style, and I think I said this during the Victory video a couple months back, is Saison de Pont. It's a green bottle, label's pretty evident. You can find it at major stores all over the place. They have them in the 750 milliliter bottles, and they now have them in 4-packs of the 12-ounce bottles. I don't know what size they are. Or you'll have the 375 little Cajun cork bottles as well. It's everywhere. It's a staple for the style, and it's still a perfect beer. So a lot of times these American brewers are trying to replicate that and then throw their own little spin on it. Traditional saison wouldn't have the fruit in it and wouldn't add additional spices other than what the yeast spice that was coming off of it was. So a little bit different take. Maybe throwing their Florida roots in there with the fruit they added, but I really like it. You can find this one in Pennsylvania. I found this at Whole Foods, and it wasn't that bad. It was like $10, which is surprising for big format bottles in Pennsylvania. Are usually a little more expensive than that. So I now that I know a little bit more about them, I'm going to try some of the more traditional saisons that you can find out there. Labels usually kind of look like this appearance. Maybe not this color. There's a blue label for their traditional saison, I believe, but I think they're all in the same price point. And definitely worth seeking out for the spring and summer months because it's really refreshing. It can be really tasty stuff sitting on your deck or going down the shore or something like that. So I'm going to continue drinking on this one. I'm going to wrap this guy up. I want you guys to have a safe and healthy weekend. Enjoy some great beers. And until next time, cheers.